Hey there, YouTube friends, Maskedbandit here. Thanks so much for hanging out with me today. I always do appreciate it. And it's Australia DLC release day for Planet Zoo. And I have everything in the new pack for you to look at today. I do not have in this video the stuff that came with the free update, except for the rocks. I know there's some free plants that came. I wasn't able to parse out which ones those were, but we have everything that the paid DLC has for you today. All the scenery items. This is a scenery items overview, and then in the future we'll have videos on each individual animal. I will be building a habitat for each individual Australian animal. So first and foremost, we have to talk about this new biome. This is the new map, new biome. I'm not quite sure how they describe this, but this is definitely a different desert map. If you go to the Australia continent and you click on a desert to start a new zoo, you will be opened with this map, which looks very different than the other desert maps in the game. The sand has a nice red texture to it. Look, you can even see the waves in the sand. It's super nice. Big, open, kind of this red color. Really enjoy it. And what I've done here is I've gone ahead and shown you what the different terrain paints look like. So this is the different terrain paints in this particular map, biome, whatever they're calling it. Your grasses, your dirts, your rocks, and then your sands. But here's the new rock pack that is for free. Everyone has some new rocks with them. They came with the free update, and they match the red texture. So these are red desert rocks. That's where you'll find them. A complete set of red rocks. Let's take a look at the foliage. So we have some new foliage from the Australia DLC. We'll bring up the menu here so we can see. We have, I can't even read, Triodia grass. We have two different kinds. We have a lighter and a darker green, and 3 different sizes of each. And then we have these fancy palms here. These are Australian fan palms. They come again in 4 different sizes, which is always nice. Really green, really nice bright green on these, but you get a couple different sizes and varieties for you here. And then we get into the trees. We have these here, which are desert bloodwood trees. Very cool. The yellow flowers on these are really, or yellow leaves, the patches of yellow, whatever they are very nice. We have ourselves some, I think, white gum is what the ghost gum? Ghost gum. We have ghost gum trees, 4 different sizes, including a sapling, which is super cool. It's the only tree in the set that has a sapling, and then 3 larger versions of it. I love this bluish kind of hue and this ghastly white trunk. That's really cool. Really, really cool. So, and then we have the main just eucalyptus tree here, and this is a stringy wood eucalyptus tree. And again, we have 3 sizes and shapes here. And I know that when this was announced, some people spied the eucalyptus trees. But yeah, you're going to probably be using these a lot if you want to have koalas in your zoo. So they do come, of course, with a couple pre-built blueprints that use the scenery. I just wanted to show you what those look like, and we'll get into what these pieces are in just a second. So this is the foliage and all the nature stuff for the pack. And again, these rocks are included in the free update, so everyone will have those. Let's take a look at some of the facilities that came with this DLC. So we have a couple benches. So we have a bench and a trash can and a picnic bench and an umbrella. That's the main one. And I think these paths are new too. I know this one is. I've been out of the loop for a bit with the game, so apologies if these aren't new. But I believe these 2 are new path types, which are really nice. This earth one, it blends really, really well with this biome, so I could totally see making like a trail, like, you know, a nature trail type thing. But love the detail on these benches. I mean, beautiful, beautiful stuff. Obviously, with all the animals on them, they are a little theme specific. If you're not doing an Australian area, these aren't really going to fit, but the umbrellas are really nice, and I could see uses for those across different themes. That's one thing I'm always looking for, are different ways to use these. Like these benches, yeah, I guess they're Australian, but not so much so that you can't use them in other themes. Like, I think at least. I think these are a little bit more versatile than the picnic benches are. So we have 4 new habitat items for the animals. We have a bubble machine, which looks like a riff on the sprinkler. It's the same, and it's recolorable, but super cute little bubbles. I can't wait to see how the animals interact. I have not yet I've done just some really preliminary testing with the animals so far, but I can't wait to pop one of these in and see how they react. This is meant for dingoes. This tug rope is also for the dingoes, which is super cute. I'm assuming they're gonna obviously play tug of war with it. We have a eucalyptus feeder, which is really interesting. Obviously, this is gonna be used for your koalas. And then we have a pool, an actual little pool here with, it looks like it's supposed to be a little bit deeper than this, like it's dug out of the ground, but that's a nice little texture. And I like the ramp going up. But again, it'll be interesting to see how the animals interact with this stuff. So I'm excited to get to use these in the various habitats in the game. So here's an overview of all the wall pieces you'll be getting with the Australian DLC, including 3 different textures. We have this Australian wood, I think they call it, and then we have this corrugated metal, and then we have these rusted metal roofs. These roofs are awesome. I am so excited for these. This is right up my alley, this aesthetic, so super happy. We also have some non-gridded pieces. We have non-gridded options here. This one, excuse me. These 3 are non-gridded planks, kind of like we have with the stucco pieces. We also have some of these, what do they call these? They call these chipboard, which is, I think, really nice. It's going to give that run-down look. That's something that's featured in some of the blueprints in this DLC, this kind of run-down Outback look, which is really cool. So, and then this metal is recolorable. Let's see what it looks like when we recolor it. Let's make it orange. There you go. So nice, strong colors. Love the texture. Just a simple corrugated iron. That's going to be a nice addition as well. Super useful pieces. And then we've got some really interesting shaped roof sections over here that are not gridded. These kind of nest together. You can put them together to create interesting roof shapes. This kind of reminds me of one of the roof pieces in Planet Coaster they had, where you could kind of nest them together like this. They were gridded though and make some interesting looking stuff. So something like that. That's pretty cool. So I like that. So yeah, I think it's pretty standard by now. You're going to get your standard wall sets. That's great. Always great to have more variety. But there's a bunch of other really cool pieces, beams and stuff. That's always where the money is for me in these packs. So let's take a look at that stuff. All right, so I think this is where the best parts of the pack are located. These are the beams and the wall decorations and that stuff. I think this is fantastic. I am most excited, as always, for the rusted beams and the recolorable beams. These are really neat. They got different curves. Look at how huge. Like, I don't know if I'll ever have a need for these really long ones, but these are going to be really, really valuable. And they have square versions over here, which I believe are also recolorable. Let's see. Yeah, recolorable. So that's great. I could see lots of different things. And these little cubes, look at this. We've got another tiny, I'm always looking for tiny pieces. I'm not sure how these nest, and not so great. But like tiny pieces, it's always fun to see what the community can do with tiny pieces, creating things in new and interesting ways. Love the texture and the design on these beams as well, on these posts. Super, super cool. Really digging it. And then down here, all the decorative stuff. And again, it's specific to the pack, but I think that's great. It really doesn't bother me at all. I love the artwork, the Aboriginal flair to a lot of this stuff, which is really, really well done. These paintings in particular are gorgeous. They are absolutely beautiful. Love these little pieces here. All these little pieces are recolorable, and you can use them in something like this. Now, I didn't make this. This comes with the game. It comes with the pack. It's a blueprint you can use. But look at how they're using all these different pieces to create some cool shapes. It'd be really cool to put in rock, into rocks or into walls and just create your own designs. And I see lots of flexibility in these pieces. Of course, in the posts, lots of flexibility in the beams and all that stuff. So yeah, I mean, and the stuff that's not as flexible is still beautiful. So here's 2 little things you can use for your education boards. Got a beautiful little awning and a fascia for your shop and stall. Pretty nifty. So let's take a look at what else is in the pack. Here's the signs that come with the Australian DLC. We have 4 editable signs. This is cool, a little big, but I like it. And then I guess this is a thing, these Australians, these road signs. I know that I've seen the kangaroo one before, but it's usually just the silhouette of a kangaroo. So they're a little bit different than I think what they actually look like. The Planet Zoo one I think is a nice little touch. I think that's kind of cute. So a couple signs you can use. It feels like this is like, you know, just to throw for extra details on your buildings, kind of like a TGIF or TGI Fridays or something like that, where it's just a bunch of crazy crap on the wall. So that'll be nice. You don't have to like make your own tiny signs. We have some here. A couple lights to go here. This light post is pretty cool. I think this light here is going to be one of my new favorite lights in the game. I think this will be great for interiors. It's so simple looking, kind of industrial, functional. And then there's this little koala light. This looks like a barbecue. It's got a little koala light, which is really adorable. I probably have no use for it, but I think it's cute. Here's some more pieces, these random logs and some path coverings. Love the detail on these. And then here's some fences. Man, I tell you what, this fence here on the right could have done me good in my South American video about the llamas, the llama farm. Could have really used those gates. These gates are great. And then there's this like natural rock fence, which is kind of cool. That's interesting. You got a curved piece with it, which is neat. And then you got a couple logs here, a couple posts here, and then some more beautiful paintings. They took the paintings and put them on rocks, which I really enjoy. And then of course I am a sucker for backstage stuff, so these pallets I think are going to be great for backstage. So yeah, a nice variety of things in this pack. And then over here we have the 2 statues that come with this pack. We have our cassowary statue and our animated that's kind of creepy. Our animated kangaroo sculpture here. I love this like almost steampunk vibe though, this recycled, reused look. I wish there were more gears and stuff in the actual pack. That would have been really cool, but nonetheless, like this is again, a lot of this is really specific, but you can't deny that it looks great. So if you have use for this, awesome. You're gonna, I think it's really worth it. And yeah, so that's just a really brief rundown of all the scenery items and other things in the Australian DLC for Planet Zoo, which is available now. Overall, my thoughts, as always, it's beautiful. I mean, you can't deny it. Every piece is really well designed and looks great. I can't fault them. Like the textures on this Australian map are very, very nice. As always, of course, some of it is completely specific, and if you're not making an Australian area, you're really not gonna find much use for some of the pieces. And that's just kind of the way it is. I think they've established what they're going to do with their DLCs. Now, of course, we need to still look at the animals, and again, just like in the South American DLC, I would always trade scenery pieces for more animals. This 4 animals and an exhibit animal in a DLC is a little bit of a bummer, but I wasn't surprised. I assumed that's what it was going to be because that's what they've been doing for their first 2 packs, so it's not quite a surprise to see it done again. Maybe in the future we can hopefully get a DLC that has like double the animals with no scenery. Like I know Planet Coaster after a while just did straight up ride packs instead of themed DLCs. So if they were to do something like that later on in the game's life, I think that'd be really great. But for what it is, if you are looking for something new to do, the Planet Zoo has kind of stopped grabbing your attention and you're looking for something to get back into it, I mean, I think there's worse ways to spend $10. And so I'm excited to get in with all these pieces and build some habitats for these new animals. So I do encourage you, like I said, to subscribe if you haven't. Like the video and tell me below what animal are you most excited for, or are you happiest to have in this Australian DLC? Tell me in the comments below which one you thought is the best. So that's gonna do it for us today. So have yourself a great day, great night, great whatever, and I will see all of you for the next Planet Zoo video. Talk to you later, everyone. Take care. Bye-bye.